Turn that down slightly.
Dropping too deep on top of them, on top of the back line.
Up a little bit more. Up more. Hang on. Just want to say something here. So, right, guys, how you doing? Welcome to Irish Footy Vlogs. Just catching the end here. Dundalk and Finn Harps. 2-1 Harps. Adam Foley getting 2 goals. This is your watch along anyway for Sligo and Waterford. Can you hear me okay, guys? If you can't hear me well, let me know. First division games tonight as well, so we keep an eye on them as well and see how they're going. Not that bad, Billy. Harps doing a Leicester. It's very early in the season, but I do think Harps are a decent team. Guys, I don't think there's a weak team in this league. If you're not on it, you can be beaten, and we're seeing that. Cheers, Jack. Fair play to you. 2 seconds, guys. I'm just trying to send someone a message here regarding something here as well. So, what are your predictions for tonight's game anyway, guys? Waterford and Sligo. Throw in your predictions there. While I'm just doing this. 2 seconds out. 1-1 draw, you're saying, Lenny. Okay. Come on, Wexford. Wexford up against Cabinteely tonight, of course, as well. 4 minutes of out of time here. Guys, I'll be doing another, I don't know if you've seen last week, but there'll be a fan reaction video. So, you know, I'll be getting fans from most of the clubs tonight, not all the clubs, to do a little reaction as well. So I'll be putting that into one video as well. Just checking up a bit of team news as well here, guys. 3-1 Waterford, Dylan O'Sullivan said. Lenny says 1-1. Just turn it off there. What are you saying? 2-1 Waterford. My son says 2-1 Waterford, so there you go. I'm going for a Sligo win, to be honest. I think they might win this 2-0. Jamie Condren, 3-1. Lenny, Ryan O'Kane looks like a good talent. He does indeed. He's only 17 years of age as well. But looks like Harps are going to hang on here, guys, isn't it? Do you think they deserve to win the game? Dundalk came close a few times, but I have to give Harps credit. Dundalk, I don't know about you guys, but they don't look they don't look like a team yet, do they? I do have question marks over Filippo and the management team there, I have to say. They've got individuals, but I don't know if they're well coached yet. I think Sligo win 2-1. How are you, pal? Jack goes for 2-1 Sligo. Hard to believe he's 17. Looks a bit 13. I thought you were going to say 23 or something. Sligo will 100% lose their trash. I'm guessing Dylan is trolling here a bit. He's a Waterford fan, no doubt. How do we feel, guys, about the first division tonight? A couple of big games in particular, Cove and Cork and Cove rather, Cork are home. And we have we've obviously Galway and Shelburne as well. We've got Wexford and Cabinteely are playing tonight as well. And that's the other fixture, I've forgotten it. UCD play at Lone as well, so you know, I'll be keeping an eye on those, to be honest, as well, and seeing how they're getting on. All 7:45 kickoffs as well. Owen says, come on, Galway. Owen, how do you feel about that one against Shells? Tonight. Shells look like they're playing a 3-5-2 system tonight as well. They're playing Macaulay. Actually, I support Cork City. Really, Dylan, yeah, how do you think they'll get on tonight against Cove? Paul Hunt isn't even on the bench. He must be injured. Just over a minute left to play. Is there to be another chance? You think we draw, hoping for a win? Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. Galway playing 4-3-3. I didn't get all the team news. I don't be checking my phone every 2 seconds. So, how's the midfield? Is it Hurley, Duggan, and McCormack? I'm guessing. I'm guessing Mikey Rowe's playing as well, is he? Terrible news about France Lille and Boto, to be honest. He was on my ones to watch in the first division this season. Dundalk with a late throw here, last few seconds as well. Yeah, so horrible that he broke his leg, to be fair. That's a strong midfield, Owen.
The didn't get to the way as far as Chris Shields. The referee's back was turning play on though. The Dundalk still fighting.
Dundalk getting crosses into the box. Not quite dropping for them though.
Frustrated. Jungwoo's still there. Can he get it into the box? It's been blocked. And it's going to be a corner. It is
corner kick, last chance for Dundalk. Literally seconds to go here. So
Ollie Horry's going to be furious about where that throwing was taken. It's taken about 8 meters from where the ball went out. Referee's back was taken.
Controversy with the throw-in, but mightn't matter. Hang on, guys.
He's going to go up for it. Might break kindly for Boyle. Away it goes from
that's it, I should say.
Hasn't cleared it
not over yet. Shields lofts it in. Perez strikes straight at the goalkeeper, guys. Horgan would have been gone mad if that went in because Dundalk took a throw that was about 5 meters away from where it went out of play, so that would have been controversial. Yeah, if he hits it in the corner, like it didn't have to be right in the corner, Lenny, but just close to the core. What a win for Finn Harps. So what a win for Finn Harps. Dundalk won, Finn Harps too. Superb victory for Harps. Beating Bohemians and now beating Dundalk. Am I surprised? A little bit, but not really in a weird way as well. I'm surprised they got 6 points out of 2 games, but you know, if you look at Harps, the way they finished last season very strongly, and they've kept all those players. It's pretty much the same team in terms of the 1 to 11 to what ended last season. I think that cohesion is massive. So McGinley get in. One like to be playing Harps next. Drogheda are playing Harps next. Jamie, I think I might be going to that one as well. So I'm very interested to see, obviously, how both teams get on there. But just turn that down slightly, please. We'll the Xbox out. We'll play FIFA instead or something. We'll get on this game now, guys. Yeah. Waterford and Sligo. It's easy to say Sligo are going to win though, because the way they played in the first game and the way Waterford played in the first game. But as I said, it's week to week. Like whoever plays. This league is the way it is that I don't think you're going to get away with playing badly and winning matches. Really. I really believe that. So Harps deserved it. Yeah, they did deserve it. Great start. Yeah, no, they did deserve it. I don't think Galway showed enough. Dundalk showed enough. Harps looked more like a team. And as I said before, I thought it was massive coming into the season that they came into the season pretty much with the same squad. I know they brought in a few, but they're not starting at the moment, so that's massive. Daniel, Finn Harps have shocked the world. Yeah, I mean, exactly. You know, if Waterford come out and play well, it's like I don't Waterford win, very simple. Okay, who's your one to watch for Cove and Cork tonight? Brian, how are you? You well? Just get that up there. One to watch in terms of a player, is it for each team? If you're going for Cork, I would say Alec Byrne. I think he's a very good young player, but I think there's a lot of players there that can cause damage. Obviously, they've Morrissey, they've got Dylan McGlade who can cause damage. Peppa's Ali, Organ Pulters in his room. I'll just go to check actually the team selection again because I checked them earlier, but you know, interesting that McNulty's in goal. I think Hunt might be injured, so I'll just get it up here. I think we had it there. What a win that was! Yeah, like Cork of McNulty, Hurley, Heave, and Morrissey, McGlade, Coleman, Bardry, Galvin, Murphy, Walker, Baxter. Byrne is actually on the bench, to my surprise, to be honest with you, and Wynn is on the bench. It all depends. Maybe he feels those players are the fittest players, but Cove have a back five that's pretty much the same as last season, so you know they're going to be tough to beat. Johnny Kenny lovely score. Looks like he looks like a serious prospect. Are you a Sligo fan, Daniel? Johnny Kenny does look like a serious prospect, to be fair. And looking forward to watching them tonight now. You know, Parks. I thought Figueroa was actually quiet in the first game, to be honest with you. But it's interesting, yeah. I mean, Sligo on their away kit there, their new away kit. Lyons definitely to watch. Charlie Lyons, yeah, for Cove. Yeah, he's a defender. Yeah, I mean, he's a very good young player. He wasn't, Jamie, but he is now. Sorry, just got some of these out. McGinley, best keeper in the league. Foley, best striker in the league. Horgan, best manager in the league. Finn Harps fan, Callum. Certainly, Foley's the most formed striker in the league, and a player actually at the start of the season that I did tip to do well. McGinley, I think there's a lot of goalkeepers in the league that are very good. I think the goalkeeping is stronger in the league than any other position, in my opinion. I think there's not much between an awful lot of goalkeepers in the league, to be honest. I have a feeling Bolger will be a game changer tonight, says Jake Davis. Yeah, I thought he was very good in the first game. I know he's involved in the goal, but McGinty, that was kind of his fault, if I'm honest. Cork fan, but being general, yeah, before Cork. So yeah. Well, that's it, Daniel. I mean, I'm a St. Pat's fan, but I follow the league, if you get me, as well. Like, obviously I follow the league. See the recent signs like Malloy and said Korean fella. Yeah. Malloy for Waterford, are you talking about? Brian there. And the Cream fella, sorry for the dock. Yeah, obviously came on sub there. And it looks like they're signing I can't remember his name, but the African guy as well. He played with Valencia and he played in the MLS, so it looks like he's coming in as well. But it's just I've no doubt in the quality of player that Dundalk have. I'm just not sure about the formation of the management team and how they are. Yeah, Eric Malloy, yeah, that's it. I don't know, I don't think I personally don't think he's a great sign, if I'm honest. Hopefully Longford get a result tomorrow night. Where are we at here? He played for Cork City and he was trash. Jake Davis, will you be doing watch along for the game? Come on, the drugs. Yeah, I might do, Jake. Yeah, I haven't actually made a decision yet. I just said I'd do the watch along here, but I'll be watching the game anyway, so I may do a watch along as well for Drogheda and St. Patrick's Athletic. Yeah, I might do, yeah. Balls for the win. What else have we got? No, he's not great, to be honest. Eric Malloy, yeah. I wouldn't bet, Lenny. Obviously, you're confident Bulls are going to win. They kind of should win, but I wouldn't bet against Longford getting something out of that game as well. They're very hard working. I really like their midfield. Again, Bowles will have to be honest. I sound like a broken record a little bit, but if you're not honest, you'll drop points in this league, to be honest. Mon Treaty. Yeah, Treaty obviously making their debut on Sunday in Bray, which is going to be a good test. And, it's great to have Treaty and a Limerick side in the league, isn't it, to be fair? I just think Waterford, though, as well, though. I do think there's some handy players that they brought in, but it's just very hodgepodge at the moment. New management team. The players don't really know each other. I think it's a good thing that the likes of Dara Power and Griffin in tonight, though, because they needed some of those players, existing players, in the first game, I thought, as well. Yeah, along for Fan TV, you're going to be underdogs in nearly every game this season, and in a way that suits us. But there's a long way to go. Shelburne had a very good start last season, and half a season still got relegated. It's going to be difficult for Longford, if I'm honest. I do think they're a good side. But I just think the strength of the league, you see with Finn Harps winning their 2 games, it's strong this year. Excuse me. I'll just keep an eye on the first division. Nil-nil all the games so far. 5 minutes gone. McCourt was good last season, Lenny, at Waterford. In a way, he played centre back. He wouldn't have been the best in the air, to be honest, but he was good in other aspects defensively, to be honest. He wasn't bad at all. I do like the Sligo away kit. It's just the collar gets me. I don't like the V-neck collars, but it's all personal preference. I like an actual collar, like an old-fashioned kind of a collar, you know. McGlade just hit the crossbar. You watching that one, Jamie? Or just heard? Finn Harps have had a great start. Absolutely fantastic start. fantastic start. Some Finn Harps fans, people laugh, but some Finn Harps fans have told me that they feel they could push Europe this season before the season started. And whereas I didn't really think that, at the same time, I didn't think they'd be in the relegation. Hang on. It's very hard. Yeah, it's hard to judge Treaty because, yes, they got these squad. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's it. But I have to say, though, it's a better squad than I thought they were going to assemble for a club back in the league. So they got to be happy with that. No matter where they finish in the league, though, they got to be happy with that. It's a good foundation. Yeah, that's true, Lenny. Really? Was it one of those? Was it a long shot by McGlade, or? I remember McGlade in class. He seems to suit the first division. I'm not being funny, but he can be one of the most frustrating players in the world as well, if you get me. Because he tends to play with his head down and doesn't see and lacks awareness of what's around him at times. But he can be quality. Yeah, we all hate him. That's football, isn't it? Cork and Cove. I actually went for Cove to win that tonight, guys. I just have a feeling they might nick it. Galway Shelburne went for a draw. UCD at Lone. I actually went for UCD to win that. And Wexford Cabinteely. I'm not even sure what I went for there. I might have gone for a draw or Wexford win. I can't even remember. I'll say Wexford win now, narrowly though. Yeah.
Cork match, I would say it'd be 1-1 draw.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Treaty beat Athlone recently, didn't I? Think Athlone brought them. Yeah, I think that's a possibility with Athlone as well. And I think when you bring in so many players like that, I think some of them will be a success. Some of them won't be a success either, but can take time to gel. Definitely, yeah. Now, they're the three I'd mention. Even Ty Ryan, Brian, I'd say, is a decent enough signing for them. Ludden is a big signing for them, I have to say. McGlade still look great. No, McGlade has been at Cork the last 2 seasons. Sorry, when I say the last 2 seasons, last season and obviously this season. He can be a frustrating player though, but free kick anyway for Sligo. We've a couple of minutes gone here, and Sligo kind of doing the early running. Sorry, excuse me, it's a free kick for Waterford. I meant Waterford. Maskell was actually good the other week, I have to say, from dead balls for Waterford against Drogheda. Probably one of the few things that you could take from it from their point of view. But Maskell doesn't hit this one in. Oh? Is that Shane Griffin? Have the commentary turned down a bit, guys, as well, because I don't like it too loud when in this. I think it was Griffin with a strike, was it? Anyway, it's a corner kick for Waterford. What? Am I behind, guys? 1-0. Yeah, I'm behind. My stream is behind, guys, by about 15 seconds. Well, lovely goal by Keane Kavanagh. It's a header. And it's 1-0 to Waterford. And this is what I mean, guys, about this league. I'm watching it, but using as my own commentary. There we are. We actually have replays, which is fantastic. But I'm just trying to look at it here, guys, before I... It's a good header, but he's unmarked. I don't know why he's unmarked. He's a big guy, Keane Kavanagh, isn't he? Not much McGinty could do about that, but super header unmarked. And Waterford 1-0 up, and now we've an interesting game. This is interesting now, guys, because as I said, you have to be on it every week. And I think Sligo, I think they deserve to beat Dundalk last week, but I think people are getting a bit carried away with Sligo. I do think they'll challenge for Europe, and I did hit them for 4th. But there seems to be 1 or 2 saying a title challenge. I think it's no. There's not. I would say the same for Bohemians as well. Bohemians won't challenge for the title either. To be honest, I still think Dundalk by the end of the season will be up there, and if they have to sack the manager, they will. And even though Rovers lost some players, I just think they're the best team about. But it's an interesting league. Like someone's going to surprise, I think, and someone's going to disappoint who you would not expect. All right, Daz, how are you? You well, man? Yes, we will. It's like he heard me and he came on. Only one game in St. John for Rovers. Yeah, it's very, yeah, you can't really. It's difficult to look past the big teams. But now this is going to be interesting now because it'll be interesting to see how Waterford deal with this now.
He's right. Come on, boys.
And Sligo as well. But it's always great to see an early goal for the team that people aren't expecting to get the win. But do you think Drogheda can cause an upset and win the title? I like Drogheda. They're a good club and they have a lot of good players, but there's no chance Drogheda are going to win the title, to be honest. No. Cabinteely won up in Wexford, incidentally. This is why last season was hard to judge as well, guys, because it was a half season last season. Ultimately, it was a half season, and sometimes it takes. Teams often don't get going until the second half of the season, or some teams can underachieve in 18 games and then they go down a bit. So that's why I'm really intrigued about the 36 game this season as well, and the full league we have in the first division.
Yeah, you're right, John. That was good attending. Cameron Evans looked to get a little bit of trouble there initially up against George Gibson in the replay the goal here.
Not sure who was marking, but
Noel Moran has the closest Sligo defender. But
apparently Noel Moran was marking Kavanagh, but there's definitely a height and a power disadvantage there to Cian Kavanagh. Yeah, Daz, I was just saying there earlier before you came on that every game, like this year, I honestly think there's no whipping boy in the league this year. Honestly, if you're not on it, you'll be beaten. Very simple. You have to be on it every game or you'll be beaten. I think so, Jake. I think they could finish 8th, though. I did tip them for 7th, but I did say 7th or 8th. I think so, yeah. What's that? When you sit near a section of those, great crack. I'm going to be watching how Cabba fares this season. Could go sweet and lose. It's difficult. I actually tipped them for bottom, and they could finish 6th. You know, that kind of makes a difficult one. They lost a lot of good players this season. It's a difficult one. Cabba are difficult, I have to say. Very difficult to judge. Who's this? Sorry, missed that one up the top. Who would you say is the most promising player coming out of the League of Ireland? That's difficult. One player. I couldn't pick one player to spin in time. It's very difficult to actually say who the best player in the league is at this minute. Jack Byrne was the best. Oh, it's off the post. Johnny Kenny is at the post from a header. Here's Figueroa. Hang on. It's very difficult to pick one player. Because I don't think there's one actual player. You know, I think Pat McElhenney is the best technical player in the league, in my opinion, but he gets a lot of injuries. Do you think Pats can get Europe? They can get Europe. I have them down for 5th, but they can. They definitely have a chance, I think. He scored for Cabo. I'm just checking it up now. See if we can find anything on Cabinteely there. Doesn't seem to be an update in the goal score. They still have Kieran Marty Waters at the club, guys. You have to bear that in mind. And, you know, he's still a fantastic player. It's very difficult. And there's usually a whipping boy as well in the first division. But again, for the first time, so in that header from Johnny Kenny, that's a very good header. Because he couldn't generate power in that header either. It was a very good header. No, it's not updated anyway, but they're 1-0 up. The keeper looking for out. Yeah, he's a very good goalkeeper. Sorry. The keeper I'm looking out for is Adumusu for drawing. Outstanding goalkeeper. Very, very good goalkeeper. There's a lot of goal. I think most of the teams in the Premier Division actually have a good goalkeeper. Mind that wire there. Be careful there. Who do you think is the best player from Pats? Technically, Chris Forrester is still the best player at Pats in terms of technique. We'll see this season. I think Jamie Lennon. I think Jamie Lennon is one that can emerge this season. I think he got very strong last season. 5 goalkeepers have seen that. Sorry, what's this? What do you make of Dundalk losing the Harps? Yeah, I mean, it was a great result for Harps. I just think Harps looked like a team, and Dundalk didn't look like a team. They looked better coached, more cohesive as a unit, and fully deserved to win the game. Good game start to this game, guys. Obviously, an early goal helps, and Kenny hitting the post there. So, yeah, good game so far, I have to say. Still only one goal for submission. Cabinteely leading at Wexford, sorry. Here come Waterford now in the attack. Griffin back in the team. I like Griffin, guys. I think he's a very good player. A lot of Waterford fans I know talk about O'Keefe, and rightly so, but I don't know. We all have players like Griffin is the youth product from Waterford that maybe I like the best so far from what I've seen. I'm a fan of Griffin. I like him. He's a long shot in him as well. Really does help when you score an early goal, doesn't it? Sloppy pass from Masco there, John, was a lovely little combination play before that, working their way into that area of the pitch. Oscar Brennan instigating things and that's when I think the midfield position which is fine. Adam O'Reilly started well, John spoke about it, he's got a bit of a free roll, just in front of Oscar Brennan and Shane Griffin. Like they did bring in some good players, Waterford, to be fair. Like it's just a case of you know, they all came in late pretty much, and how they would set up and mix and gel as a team. But the likes of Adam O'Reilly, I mean, like he's a player that's been at Preston and known about for a while. And he's a baller. Like he's small and he might struggle in some games in that sense physically, but if he can get to the grips with that and move the ball quickly and just be clever, like that usually beats physique. So yeah. I think Campbell's going to rotate the keepers with Liga. Possibly. They have a lot of goalkeepers. It doesn't make sense, though, that many goalkeepers. But they do, yeah. Any team needs to come out from Bowes. Knox and Harps game. Not that I know of. If any Bowes fans know, let me know. But I don't think so. Obviously, Malin is out. But do you think any league could be close to trying to? I don't think so. Not at the moment, no, to be honest. I think some of the best ones have left the League of Ireland the last few years, the likes of Jamie McGrath, obviously Jack Byrne and Aaron McInnes, and they're not in the squad at the moment. Obviously with Jackie's injured, but I don't know. I don't see any League of Ireland players at this minute getting into the squad, but that could change halfway through the season when we see some form in players and he's good enough to get in and not get in. Graham Burke, I don't know. I don't quite see. Graham Burke's a good player, but he's inconsistent. I wouldn't mind the club having 3 goalkeepers, guys, but at the same time, though, like 5 goalkeepers, but some of them I think are under 19s, so they could go into the under 19s. In fairness. It's nice to have the co-commentator though on the RTE and that, like, you know, I know this is on RTE, but Murphy's going to let that run. But like you had Gary Rogers on earlier for the Dundalk game, so Talbot, I don't know. Good goalkeeper, but he's how do I say this? He's a good goalkeeper, Talbot, but I don't think he's. I think there's a lot of good goalkeepers in this league, and there's not much between them, to be honest with you. Ultimately, if Mark Travers was in the league, he'd still be one of the best goalkeepers in the league as well, by the way. So. Yeah, both Longford and Pats Androtton at 4 o'clock, which is a little frustrating. We had 3 games last week, which were on at. Are they going? Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on. Which were on at 6 o'clock as well. It's a little frustrating. Yeah. How do you see those games going, boys? Actually, Lions in the future, yeah, potentially Lions in the future. He's still a little bit small and lacks a bit of physique, in my opinion, but potentially in the future. But he's a battle on with Rory Feely at St. Pat's. And you're right, yeah, UCD do lead 1-0 against Athlone, Jamie. Again, nice score for Cabinteely at Wexford, by the way. I don't personally have an update on the UCD score yet. Sorry, guys, just going back through some of these. Where are we now? Yeah, Defo, he didn't play for the 21s today, yeah. Interestingly, Brian Maher played for the 21s today, and I actually didn't see the game, but by all accounts, he did well. He's another very good young goalkeeper, and he's in the first division. I wish more people watch the League of Ireland. Yeah, I know, yeah. I mean, we all have our Premier League clubs and English clubs as well, to be honest, as well. But there's no reason why you can't watch both. I mean, you can support them from afar and go and watch your League of Ireland team play. Here's a chance for Waterford. Oh, what a save. It's in. No, it's saved again. Great double save, McGinty. Particularly the second save, I thought there. That could have been 2-0. Brian Silverbraid. Brian Murray, he is absolutely, yeah. What do you make of Ryan O'Kane from Dundalk? Yeah, Ryan O'Kane's good talent. He's only 17 as well, like Johnny Kenny for Sligo. He looks a good talent. There's still question marks over Dundalk and the management team, for me personally, but they need to gel as well with all their new players. So it'll be interesting to see. UCD 1 up on Athlone. We don't have the score yet. I'll have a quick look on Instagram to see if there's anything up there. Could find anything about it. Now, clubs can be slow in updating their actual scores, can't they? You would have thought to be on that on Instagram and that kind of thing, but you know yourself. Do I think Standard League is getting better? I think it has this year overall. Funnily enough, we mightn't have an absolutely outstanding team, as in, Dundalk won't be as good as they have been under the last few years, under Kenny in particular. And Shamrock Rovers are going to miss Byrne and McAniff. But I think the overall quality of the weaker teams and the other teams is definitely stronger. It's hard to know if it's getting better because you can have peaks and troughs, but this year it's definitely better. Indeed. They've been the better side so far. That was Kavanagh, good save, McGinty. Although if he finds the actual corner, it's a goal, but it's still a good save, if I'm honest. Brian, any players you think is a future Irish first team player from the Irish under-21s? There's bound to be a few, isn't there? I can't really pick any out at the moment because it's a very young under-21 squad, actually. And a lot of our under-21s from the last year have actually come up to the senior squad. At this minute in time, no, it's not a penalty. At this minute in time, it's hard to pick any out. I like Leo Connor, but he obviously needs to move away. He's on loan with Tranmere, but he needs to play at a higher level, really, I think, as well, even Championship. I do like Leo Connor, though. I've seen him play under-21 as well, by the way. And there will be one or two, but it's hard to pick out exactly who at this minute in time from this current crop, I think. In my opinion, I think yes. In player quality, yes. In social media, but same. Social media, maybe. I still think some clubs at times can do a little bit more on social media, if I'm honest with you, Longford Town Fan TV. Not all clubs. A lot of clubs do great work, but there's some things I don't like as well. Who would you say finished top 3 for you in the League of Ireland? Well, I did go for Rovers, Dundalk and Bow, so I have to stick with that. But it's not guaranteed by any means, in my view. I think the league is very hard to predict this year. Very hard, you're right. Yeah, I agree with that, absolutely. Yeah, no, 100%. I think when I did my prediction for the Premier Division, I said, you know, you can know all the players, etc., and know the teams and managers and all, but it's still very hard to predict. I found this year harder to predict. If you get 3 or 4 right, you're doing well, I think. I heard that Stuart Ashton can't take charge of Cove next season. Some FAI ruling. I'm not aware of that, Brian, to be honest. What that could be about. Dignam scored for UCD. They lead 1-0 against Athlone. Galway won up against Shelbourne, by the way. I've no idea the goal score, but Galway lead Shelbourne. Trying to find out who scored there as well. What's this here? Sorry, guys. Yeah, Galway won up. So we've got 3 teams leading in the first division. Galway 1, Shelbourne 0, UCD 1. UCD 1, Athlone 0, and Wexford 0, Cabinteely 1. Trying to find out who scored for Galway. I'm going to guess. I don't know, right? I'm going to guess. I'm going to go Mikey Rowe, Galway. We'll play that game, I think. Oh, hang on. Someone said no goal. Hang on. Off the line. Ooh, it says 1-0 on Foot Mob. Oh, what's gone wrong there? Hang on a second, guys. I think Foot Mob have made an error here. They're saying Galway 1 up, but I'm being told it's 0-0. This is strange. So looks like Foot Mob are wrong. Good challenge. Interesting. So it's 0-0 between Galway and Shelbourne, despite Foot Mob suggesting that Galway have taken the lead. So I don't know if there was a goal scored and disallowed or what, but I don't know if anyone was watching that game. But it's 0-0 between Shelbourne and Galway. What do you think of this game so far, guys? Waterford 1, Sligo 0, 25 minutes gone. Kenny hit the post, obviously, for Sligo. But to be fair, Waterford have been the better side so far, in my opinion. Yeah, still 0-0 between Cork and Cove. Are you watching Cork and Cove yourself, Dylan? How's the game going? Is there anybody else actually watching any other game tonight, bar Waterford and Sligo? If they are, maybe give me a little report on how it's going so far. I know the scores, but Mark Dignam. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, just updated there. Yeah, it takes a while for Foot Mob to update the goal scores, which is fair enough. Who scored a goal for Galway? It's actually 0-0. Daniel, Foot Mob said it was 1-0, and they put it back to 0-0, but apparently Galway had a shot cleared off the line, but I don't know why Foot Mob got so excited about that. Paul, I'll disagree a little bit by saying that Waterford are the worst team in the league in paper, because I think we don't know who the worst team in the league is in paper. Because Waterford, we don't know, frankly, a lot about their players that they brought into the club. I think that's the difficulty. They're more unknown than any other club in the league. So, Billy. Always great to see Billy, isn't it? How do you think? What do you think of the game so far, Billy? Waterford, I think, are doing well actually. Apart from the scoreline, even McGinty made a good save as well. So I think they've been a better side so far. To be fair, there seems to be more fight in them this week. And Sligo, I think so far there is an element of believing in their own hype a little bit. From last week. I mean, there was talk of title challenges after one game. That's not to say they won't come back and win the game, Sligo. I'm not saying they won't, but what I'm saying is, and I do think they've a good sign of good players, but to be announcing them as title contenders after a draw against Dundalk is ridiculous. Are Finn Harp's title contenders now, Yeah, I agree, Billy. Apart from Johnny Kenny's header, which was a very good header, I think Waterford have done well in this game, but their work rate is good. Adam O'Reilly, I think, is doing well in the middle of the park. Yeah, they're doing well for a team of new players, basically. It's a good tackle by Waite. That kind of, shows so far. I know Sligo are pushing on a bit too here, but it's a good game. I'm enjoying it, I have to say. Still the same scores in the first division. He's the best striker in the league, Bally Bay. On form, I'm going to say Adam Foley. But I still think Patrick Hubin's the best striker in the league. He's the best marksman in the league, to be fair. That could change the end of the season, of course, when we see who... I think that's one of the issues we have in the league overall, though. I was talking about how many good goalkeepers each team has in the league, but I think strikers... we could be doing better overall, I think. Yeah, I agree, Brian. 100%. 100%. And that's the problem. I mean, Dundalk, I suppose, are unknown in terms of we don't know much about the players, but if you look at their records and a lot of their signings, a lot of them are internationals, etc., etc. So they're obviously good players with good pedigree. But it's always difficult when you come to a new country, and there's so many of them from different countries. Keane Kavanagh's playing well so far, yeah. Apart from the goal, yeah. They're just letting Sligo have the ball a bit here now, though. They need to be careful there. Surprised they ain't 1-1 here. Sligo has some great chances. Well, I think the Kenny chance is a good chance, Jake, to be fair. But to be honest, Waterford there, McGinty made a good double save as well. So I do think Waterford deserve to be in front so far, if I'm honest now. Jake, how do you think Drogheda will do tomorrow against Pats? Obviously, good winning against Waterford in the first game. How do you think that game will go? How do you expect it to go?
That's what's thrown.
What's that? I'm just checking something here, guys. Sessions there. Morahan's a good player as well, very good player. Actually, someone talked about potential of players in the league. I think Morahan potentially is a player that could move on to England in the future. It's always hard to tell, though, but from what I've seen of him, he's a good player.
Gibson down the line. Here is Gibson. Walter kept his roll going. Just open up for a second. There was a heavy touch, but he's still not.
I'll just react to that Figueira situation. It's not a penalty, first of all, but second of all, I don't know what he's doing there. I mean, Kenny couldn't even talk about contact. Yeah, of course it was contact. It's football. You make a tackle and you can't expect just to not touch a player whatsoever. But Figueira's fine now, but he was acting like the broken leg a second ago. That's a tackle. He wins the ball first and obviously touches off Figueira. We have to be careful here that we don't... it's a contact sport. Very good tackle. And Figueira acts like a clown, if I'm honest with you. Finn Harp's done it against Tough. Yeah. Ollie's one of the best managers in the league, I maintain. Milking the injury. Not even an injury, Jamie, was it? In fairness. I never understand that. I mean, I played football. and Gaelic and soccer and not to that level, obviously, in that. But I never once thought about it. Never came into my mind to go down like that or anything. I find it odd. I really do. Keith here, or Craig here, Keith. How are you, Craig? You well? Big result for Hearts. Also, Waterford look better than I thought this year. Again, early to say, but yeah, they're playing well in this game. There's no doubt about it. It's very difficult. I don't think there's a weak team in the league. I really don't. I think predictions this season was very hard, I must admit. Massive result for Hearts. They deserve to win the game. They're a better side. Jake, it'd be tough if we play like we did against Waterford. It'd give you problems. Yeah, but that's the thing, Jake. I keep saying from week to week. Everyone keeps saying Pats played well against Shamrock Rovers. They did, but who's to say they're going to put in a similar performance against Drogheda? Pats are notorious for doing that against Shamrock Rovers and then coming out the next week and being flat. And if Pats aren't at it, then Drogheda can win. I've no doubt about that. Or at very least get a point. So it's going to be whoever plays better on the day. And that's the way this league is at the moment, to be honest, as well. It's that, I don't know, it's just that way, isn't it? Particularly early doors. But in general, it's going to be like that a bit this season as well. Billy getting excited about Europe already. Every year, Billy gets excited about Europe.
Quartet with this throw. Sligo. Parks able to spin away from White. Initially,
that's what Waterford done well so far there. Parks at the ball there. There was 2 or 3 players around him immediately and won the ball off him. Sligo still have to show they're up for a battle here as such. I'm fine. How things? Rovers better not get Ollie. Indeed. That's went to the sweet goal. Yeah, I mean 2-0, 1-0. I think any win is a good win in this league, isn't it, Jamie? Every year end heartbreak. They'll miss the injuries. So yeah. Oh yeah. I know that. Yeah, but I never thought about it. It never came into my head. And it seems to be more. These days, it seems to be happening a lot more with a lot more press. Cork City lead Cove Ramblers 1-0, guys. Shane Griffin is playing for Waterford, yeah. Allegedly, Cork lead 1-0. Now, they did have it up earlier. The Galway were leading 1-0, and that was not true. So, see if we can find out for sure here on. But apparently, Cork lead 1-0. Is anyone watching Cork City? Right. Gibson's done well here, to be fair. Gets a good ball in. Oh, what a finish. Romeo's it? Romeo Parks. What a finish. Superb finish. I have to say, Gibson is a player that infuriated me at Pats last season. Because he put in a lot of work rate and work hard. And his final product will be poor, but here his final product is brilliant. He picks out Parks actually as well. It's not a fluke. Gets around the player well. Picks out Parks brilliantly. He pulls back and it's a controlled finish. Fantastic finish. It's like our level. And this is a good game, guys. I'm enjoying this. The both games actually. But this is a good game.
It's so easy just to lean back and put that over the crossbar. Wonderful technique.
Here comes Sligo again, according to RT.
It's 1-1. It's Horgan.
There must be, Jake. There must be. Or the area, I mean. But no, that was a very good goal. I have to give Gibson credit there because, as I said, he's a player that infuriated me last season at Pats. Very frustrating player. But he did brilliantly there, I have to say. Yeah, I was saying there before that. The Cork were leading 1-0 now. I must check this up with FootMob. Yeah, they do lead 1-0. Coleman, after 37 minutes, has given Cork City the lead. UCD won that lone one, by the way. Stephen Meaney, Athlon's best signing, in my opinion, has equalised there. So, we're keeping tabs on Subawale and Mahan, 2 players I'd love to see. Murphy's made a good save from Parks there. And suddenly the game's turned here, guys, hasn't it? Sligo on top now. And do you know what? Parks should be scoring there. It's straight at Murphy. If he hits it into the corner, it's a goal. But the game's turning all of a sudden here, hasn't it? A quarter to the corner. Good corner too, but well cleared. So we've goals in all the games, bar there's one game is missing a goal, is there? Yeah, goal with Shelburne. Cork 1, Cove 0, Galway 0, Shelburne 0, UCD 1 at Lone 1, Wexford 0, Cabinteely 1, and obviously it's 1-1 here, so. I do think the Waterford, I might have mentioned it there maybe about 10 minutes ago. Sit back is probably a bit harsh, but they sat back. No, but they did. They let go Sligo have a lot of the ball, in fairness. And not necessarily coming, but here it is again, just a replay. No, Gibson skips by 1. Does well skip around the side. Why couldn't he do that when he was at Pats, though? Instead of running down blind alleys. Jamie, did you see that? Shell's red card, Jamie. Who picked up the red? For Shelburne. Hang on, I'm getting messages there.
We've been outsourced up to that point, John, tonight. Parks a little bit kind of loose with his pass and struggling to find his rhythm.
Shell's red card, yeah. Is there another football error? Oh, what are they at? No, I'm hearing Glenn McCauley's been sent off, Jamie, for Shelburne. I think Glenn McCauley has been sent off. Yeah, he has been sent off for Shelburne. Glenn McCauley, you know, a player who was at Pats, came from Liverpool, big reputation, believed in his own hype, went to Bowes, very disappointing as well. So, not a good start to his Shelburne career either. So, Owen, you're watching the game. I think he is, yeah, Jamie. You're watching the game, Owen, Galway and Shelburne. How's it going so far? Obviously, I know the score and all, but who's making most of the running? King Coleman, yeah. Give me FIFA inviting you. Sorry, Rob, I'm not playing FIFA. Actually deleted it. Not deleted it, uninstalled it as well.
Gibson. Possessed on the edge of the area, though.
Jamie, we didn't see Gibson do that kind of thing once for Pats and fairness, did we? Is Con playing for Galway? Anyone? Conor McCormack, is it? What's a very good guy? More chances. He was up front, Owen, actually, for Galway tonight. How is there three? You said they're playing 4-3-3. How are the three? What way are they? Jamie, he wasn't good though either. His work rate was good, but he was Cunningham and Keating. Is Rowe playing as well though? His work rate was good, Jamie, but God, his final end product was just absolutely dreadful. You'd have to say. He never did that once for Pats. Let's be honest about it. Oh yeah, I think he is. Yeah. I believe Conor Kearns is playing for Galway. All right, yeah. Here comes Figueroa, but he's taking a heavy touch, and Mikey Rowe. Yeah. I mean, he could play in a number of positions on as well. So you know, I think he'd be a good player for them this year. Keating too, by the way. Yeah, Christopher 1-0. Coleman got the goal, I believe, as well, according to FootMob. Did anyone see the Wales-Ireland game earlier, the under-21 game? Obviously, Ireland won it 2-1, but did anyone actually manage to see the game? Ireland got 2 goals, late-ish goals to win it. Balls and Longford, lads. How do you see that one tomorrow? He's been one of our best players. Which one? Mikey Rowe, is it? The most disappointing sign in the League of Ireland for this season, Brian, is it? Yeah, could you hear me talking there, guys? Because I appeared to get knocked off. I'm back, am I? I don't know what happened there, but I'm not sure if you could hear me. But I was commenting on Brian there. I'll say it again anyway. He was the most disappointing signing in the League of Ireland. I don't think we'll know that until later in the season. It'll end up being someone we thought was a good signing and disappointing. But yeah, Sligo have taken over, haven't they, in the last 15 minutes or so? I'm back anyway, haven't I, guys? Yeah. Rowe's been class. Yeah, he's a good player, Mikey Rowe. As is Keating. I like their player. I like Galway. Let's see if John Caulfield there as well. How's the midfield doing, Owen? How's Dave Hurley playing?
Famous when he scored in Calgary in the World Cup in 1990, a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It just seemed to go off, and I got back in, but I don't really know what happened there, to be honest.
He's been a hype the box as well. King Captain scorer already. Paul Ferguson and Oscar Brendan, good size as well.
Hurley's been fairly quiet. Many few good chances. Yeah. I think it'll be Kelly. He must be. Ooh, do you think so, Jamie? I like Kelly. I think he's a good player. Yeah, I don't know. Could be. He could be, but it's too early to actually, isn't it? Actually say who the most disappointing signing is because, you know. Waterford, haven't been in the Sligo half much since. Georgie Kelly, I forgot about him, Jamie. Yeah. Do you know what? I wouldn't see, if he struggles, I don't see him as a disappointing signing, to be honest, because I don't expect much from him, if you get me. How good is your right back? Who? Is this St. Patrick's Athletic right back now, or? I mean, any year really. Okay, any year. I'm disappointed League of Ireland signing. Well, Glenn McCauley's been extremely disappointing. Alex O'Hanlon was another one I thought. Just top of the head stuff here. He could be. Yeah, he could be big for balls. Yeah. Brandon Kavanagh's too good for the first division. I'm very surprised with that. It's 1-1 between Waterford and Sligo here. Half time in all the first division games. Cork 1, Cove 0, Galway 0, Shelburne 0, UCD 1, Athlone 1, Wexford 0, Cabinteely 1. Where's the sorry, just checking something there. I'm sorry, it's cool, yeah. Checking.
Pretty much do it for the first half.
I'm not joining the party for any second half, guys. I'm doing the watch along. Damien Delaney going back to Cork's huge shot. Yeah, that was another one, yeah. In fact, Jamie, good point. Most players that go back are flops. Like I think Darren Murphy actually will end up being the case at Waterford. Like Damien Duff, everyone got excited about him at Rovers, didn't they? Most of those players generally turn out to be flops. 1-1 at half time, probably about 10 minutes behind, but 1-1 at half time. Good half, I thought, overall. I thought Waterford had the best of the first 25, 20 minutes or so. Once Sligo scored, it kind of took over a little bit. So it's going to be an interesting second half here, 1-1. Yeah, those type of players, Jamie, tend to be flops, don't they? That Ross Chisholm, yeah, Connor Powell, Killian Brennan. Oh, for Rovers, you mean when they signed for Rovers? Yeah, Killian Brennan was absolutely fantastic at St. Patrick's Athletics. It's a funny one, isn't it? A lot of them are from the same era, those players you mentioned as well at Shamrock Rovers. It just didn't seem to work at Shamrock Rovers at the time. Yeah, Shelbourne fans, Glenn McCauley. I have to be honest, I'm going to be honest with you here. And a player that seems to believe in his own hype and, came to Pats with a big reputation, bit of an ego. Just get the feeling he thinks he's too big. But yeah, he's done nothing at Pats, Bowes, and that's a bad start to Shelbourne. Career here from Mayo. Christopher, are they ever going to win the All-Ireland? Who do you support, Christopher, actually? Only a few minutes behind. It's not too bad, no. I thought Brandon Kavanagh was going to stay if Shamrock Rovers below the end for a position. Yeah, I mean, maybe they didn't want to loan him out to a Premier Division club because he's more than good enough. Yeah, but most of the signings, like Duff coming back, I know, 37 and all, but people expect too much from them. Darren Murphy as well. I mean, people expect too much from these players when they come back. I think that's the point trying to make. People forget, yeah. McPhail was a quality player overall, but his whole career was ruined by injury. He could have been a world-class player. He had some good years at Leeds, but if he didn't keep getting injured, we could have been talking about him as a serious Irish player, to be honest with you guys. Think the game is a fair result so far, guys, at 1-1 there. I think it is overall in the balance of play, to be honest. But Shelbourne fans there, I mean, here we go, actually. We have Chelsea very slow to get forward, Galway on top of hold first half. Yeah, I'm not surprised because I do think Shelbourne, if so many new players, are going to take a while to get into the season anyway. With Galway, they have some new players, don't get me wrong, but they look a bit more gelled. They have still a lot of the players from last season playing in that as well. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens to Shelbourne this season. They'll be disappointed with the red card, I think, because you have to say, discipline kind of cost them a little bit last season as well, didn't it? In the final stretch. And you just need to keep your players on the pitch, don't you? It's fair to say. Lenny, no, did you see it yourself, actually? I heard it was a 2-footed challenge, but did you see it yourself as a kind of neutral? What did you think? They'll win the All-Ireland next year, hopefully. We call it 2-foot challenge. Okay. Walsh design. What do you think of Waterford's one suspect? Very good. No, it's horrible. I'm going to say it's horrible. No, it's actually nice. Why should it be one soft, though? They should nearly keep it, shouldn't they? To be fair. Fair play to you. No, they should nearly keep it, to be honest. In my opinion. Oh, absolutely. I mean, you could see it at Pats. You just know by somebody. Happens, doesn't it, Brian? No, I don't think Sligo will win the league, no. I don't think they'll win the league, no. I think they can build in the direction of trying to achieve that in the future, though. If they keep building, it'd be a big surprise to me if they won the league. Oh, really? How exactly has that been done? Simply all the kits, like all whatever. How many kits are been thrown into the raffle, basically? Yeah, Jamie, but look, It's a big game for Pats, I have to say, tomorrow night against Drogheda. Tomorrow evening against Drogheda, to be honest. Because Pats fans will know, they've performed against Rovers before, and then the next week it's just not the same. They're going to have to be on it, Jamie, honestly, because they're not on it, they're dropping points. It's very simple. That's Macaulay, isn't it? That's a video I hope to do, Brian. I was going to do it, funnily enough. Waterford were mentioned there, but I was told Waterford were going to be getting a new home kit, like an actual proper new home kit for the season. I never materialised, so I was waiting for that, and haven't done a video. But with the season having kicked into gear, and with so many videos I've been doing, and coupled with the international as well, I found it difficult to actually get time to get around to it. But I do hope to get around to it in the next couple of weeks. I'm gonna just do home kits, if I'm honest with you. So I won't tell you what I think the nicest is. How many clubs in Meath are in the League of Ireland, Jake? No, but seriously, just one of those things. I didn't actually have a team, and I didn't have anyone. Just looking at Walsh design there. Sorry, I didn't have an actual team, and like if you don't have parents who are into it or anything like that, you have to eventually get into it yourself. And the area I'm in Meath, it depends where you're from in Meath as well. A lot of people are Bowes fans, but I kind of didn't really want. I tend to always not want to go for the most popular team around or whatever. And but I just went to a couple of games. Simply went to a couple of games, and they were Pats games, and so simply decided to go and watch Pats more often, and suddenly you become a Pats fan. It's really that simple, actually. Sorry there, Walsh Design, Patreon members this season. Brilliant, yeah, fantastic. Excellent. So Walsh Design, the Waterford kit, they will be having a new home kit this season, is that right? It's strange, though, that they haven't had it from the start of the season, though. Bobby. Yeah, good start. First 25 minutes, Waterford were very good, Bobby. I thought they kind of started to sit back a little bit then, and Sligo came into it more, but it's been a game of kind of two halves and one half as such. But yeah, no, they've done well overall, to be fair. It's a good game overall, I have to say. Yeah, you probably heard me there, Sean. Yeah, good game overall. Waterford better first 25 minutes. Sligo probably better in the next 20 minutes or so. But good game overall. Yeah, it's a good game. You should be reasonably encouraged by that. Good point. What's that? Yeah, okay, yeah. No, but it depends, Jake. I know, like obviously a lot of Drogheda, they tap into the Meath market as well, but it depends where in Meath you're from. I know a lot of fans, like, and some of the directors of Drogheda are from Meath. Luke McQuillan, he's from Meath as well, Stamullen, obviously, and that. So it's a market, yeah, it's a good market to tap into there, obviously, as well, because, I know quite a few Drogheda supporters as well from my county, if you get me. That was a brilliant performance, Greg, wasn't it? What you make of it yourself? They fully deserved it. They were a better team, more cohesive. Yeah, and that's it, Arthur. Yeah, I just think they lack cohesion. They don't look like a team at the moment. I support Ramblers just because I'm from Cove and the ground's only a 2-minute walk from my house. Yeah, well, that's it. If you're near, if you're from, an area. See, that's it. Maybe that's a bit of a problem as well. Why it's hard to get a lot of people to actually support League of Ireland teams at times if they're not really near a club. And that comes back to a lot of counties that don't have teams, or even teams close to them as such. But I still think you can get involved and like it, and eventually you might pick up a team. A team comes to you as such. That's kind of what happened to me. I liked Richmond Park when I seen it for the first time as well. It's a ground I really, really liked. There has literally just been no news in the last few months, Jake. There's been no updates. Jamie, we did have Kildare County before and that, and it didn't really seem to work. But it's not that it didn't work. It has to be done properly. Meath, I find it difficult to see. The problem with Meath, though, is that you've got Drogheda. So if you're from a certain part of Meath, Drogheda isn't too far away. Even from where I'm from, I'm in the other side of the county near the Dublin border, but I'm still only about 40 minutes from Drogheda, let's say. And then if you're from the other side of Meath, you can have Bows or Shells generally, obviously on Pats, but had to be different. But you know what I mean? I think that's the issue as well. And it's a Gaelic mad county as well, which comes into it too. Could you? Just reading your message in Messenger now. Okay, yeah. Interesting stuff, mate. Yeah, maybe Jamie, but still very random, isn't it? I see where you're saying. You mean like a Kildare Meath combined type situation thing? Possibly, that could be the way forward. Carlow Kilkenny are trying to do that actually they are doing it, and they're trying to get into the league in maybe about 5 years. Yeah, absolutely. But that, excuse me, that doesn't mean Kildare County couldn't come back again, because it's the way it's done, and it's the way you need the right people involved. Like Limerick, for example, I believe the right people are involved in Treaty now at the moment. I think they're doing well there. They will do well there. Yeah. The only thing with the travelling thing I don't understand, I'll be honest, with the All-Ireland League, because, I mean, it's only Ireland. I mean, people do complain about I've seen complaints about the travelling. I don't really get that, though. You know, it's a small country. Like, what about England, like, for example, and you could be supporting a team in the lower leagues, and that's a bigger country. There's bigger countries than Ireland. I don't understand the travel thing at all. I'll be honest with you there. Guys, I'm just going to grab a cup of tea because my throat is going dry from all this yapping. So before the second half gets underway, pop in your comments anyway. In the meantime, we'll come back and read them, have a dialogue with each other or whatever. But yeah, the All-Ireland League will be interesting. 2 minutes. All right, fair enough. Right, back, guys. She said she'd make the coffee for me. Perks of the job. Yeah, so I think I mentioned earlier on, guys, did anyone actually see the Ireland game earlier on, the under-21 game? I couldn't see it myself, but if so, let me know what you thought of that one as well. Bray Treaty on Sunday as well. That will conclude the first division, obviously. Brilliant. Just looking at a few things. I'm going to be doing, remember last week, guys, I don't know if you know, but I done the fan reactions, so I'm just getting a few in there. I don't know, I might release it tomorrow. I'll see how much I get in tonight, but I'm supposed to be getting a few in tonight. It depends how much people get back to me, but I'm going to put them in together and just call it like, for Friday night fan reactions, and I'll get another set for the Saturday and the Sunday, perhaps. So that first 20 minutes. Probably hard to judge, Jamie. You also, they were behind actually in the first 20 minutes. Isn't that right? If an All-Ireland League does happen, what division Ireland League? See, this is the thing. There's too many questions and not enough answers, Brian. And the other side of it is you have to remember as well, the North get a lot of money from the British government to put into their stadiums, etc., etc. That's something where we're lacking. The North are better than us at that because of that reason as well. What way does that work if there's an All-Ireland League as well? I don't know. But We need new stadiums here, I think, as well. It'd be great to see Hearts get up and run and get their stadium, Pats, Richmond Arena, the Daily Men thing work out as well. Wouldn't it be great to have 4 or 5 stadiums similar to Tallaght Stadium, though, in the league? Really would. It would entice more people in. That's the biggest problem, is the stadiums. People talk about, the quality of football. It's not. It's the stadiums and it's the freezing cold. Like, Oriel Park away from home. You know what I mean? Derry are another one, actually, yeah. It is complicated. I've read it, Jamie, and your head is wrecked by reading it. It's probably too complicated. That's the problem. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But Derry are in the UK as such. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It's messy, isn't it? It's messy, and then the COVID thing and everything as well. The COVID thing has probably knocked it in the head for now, anyway. Completely, I think. To be honest. Yeah, it's Finn Harps away from home, really enticing of a game to go at the moment. Yeah, I mean and it's no offence to the people up Finn Harps that do absolute cracking work and are a great club and a great community club and that, but it's not their fault. But yeah, it is very difficult. Yeah, let's be honest. Yeah, Jake, let's be honest. United Park, although I love the atmosphere at United Park, it's a great atmosphere at United Park. How many fucking fans in? But it needs a lot of work as well, doesn't it? Let's be honest. The ground itself. Longford's not bad, I have to say, in that type of way. It's not bad. The Daily Men one is a curious one to me, though, because I don't know, 6,000 seems unambitious, though. And once you do that, it's set, doesn't it? It seems unambitious to me. I think they should be looking for about 10 anyway, in my opinion. They should be looking for 10, in my opinion. Anyway, I think Richmond Arena, Pats were looking for 12. And let's be honest, the Bulls fan base will be bigger than Pats. But I think in around 10, 12 is what you should be looking for. I think 6 is a bit unambitious, to be honest. Yeah, no, great. That's what I want. That's what I want. No, but I want all these clubs to have new stadiums and upgraded stadiums. And it's how you get people in. It really is. I mean, if you look at some of the GAA stadiums, second half on their way, the GAA stadiums around the country, I know they're not all perfect, but most of them are in better nick, aren't they, than the, apart from Loud Stadium, to be honest, Hunky or not Hunky Door Park, clearly the J ground Loud is pretty poor, but in general, you know, gonna be hard for Leeds. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, class proposal bill. Yeah. It's a lot of bollocks, Jamie. That's the honest truth about it. A lot of bollocks. You know. Yeah, I mean, look at the far side. The Des Kelly stand at Bowls. Fuck me. Hi Sam, how are you? Cork City fan, you must be a happy man. Cork City fan, you must be a happy man. Fucking hell, boys. There's poetry for you.
Standing over this, says Jordan Gibson.
Jordan Gibson, free kick, whips it in. Oh, really? Very good. Good start for the technical issues on the LOI TV. What way is the camera working? LOI TV? Yeah, LOI TV, guys. What way is that working? How's the dynamic working out there? Obviously, you're saying the stream is iffy, but I have to say, at least the last, obviously this RT, but the Dundalk one, they had score and they had the time keeping up, which was shambolic the last week. They didn't have them up. Clark just making miraculous double save. Are Shelburne hanging on a little bit on? Is that what's going on there? Another free kick for Sligo. Gibson's over it, and I think it's Robbie McCord. Just try new coffee, would you believe, guys? It's coffee in a tea bag. Decent effort, good save. Take a lot to beat Murphy from there, though. Look at Parky Quee from Cork. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And even Park Talton and me, believe it or not, even though it hasn't been done up since the mid-80s, needs to be done, and they are doing it up. It's going to be knocked down and stands it up, but it's still in better condition than most of the League of Ireland grounds, despite not being anything done since the 80s. That's the point as well. Obviously, there's more money in the GA. The problem we have in Louth Keys is that Dundalk get all the money in Louth. Yeah, of course. Nothing just. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, Jake, have you ever been in the GA pitch? I mean, it's very poor. The actual pitch is very poor as well. I remember going to a game when the weather was brilliant for about 3 weeks and the pitch was still terrible, like, you know, and it's a bit slopey as well. No, yeah, that's true, though. But they can never get the actual quality of the pitch right there. Yet the quality of the pitch in United Park is usually quite good, and it's right beside it. So, I don't know. I'm not really sure what the issue is there. What do you think, guys, now? Do you think Waterford won, Sligo won, but do you think Sligo will go on to win this now? Do you think there's another kick in Waterford in the second half? Who do you think has been the best players in the park so far as well? That's another one to throw at you. Who do you think has been some of the best players in the park? I think O'Reilly's done well for Waterford, but it's been a good team performance from them overall. With Sligo, Parks has been dangerous. Gibson, in fairness, has been dangerous. Figure has done a little bit better in this game than he did the last day as well, in my opinion. But still early enough in the game overall. Sligo to pinch it. Cabot 2-0 up, Jamie. That's a fine result if they get it. I don't really know, Jake. It feels like a long time away, doesn't it? And it feels like we're accommodating other countries a little bit. I don't think we'd get many games. Park's having a go. I don't think we'd get many games. I think we're being used as a pawn a little bit there. What do you think yourself? I also don't think it would be worth, by the way, putting money into, like they did in Brazil, into stadiums for a competition. Jamie, good man. Good man. I'm actually doing a Milan one at the moment, but I'll be honest, I haven't had time to go near it in the last 4 or 5 days. I was doing one with a Hartlepool where I won the Vanarama in the first season. And I won the FA, what do you call that? The FA Trophy. Second season, I won the league again, got up, and into the third season in League One, and I'm top. Haven't played in a while, though, I have to say. Yeah, exactly. That's the issue, and I wouldn't be doing up stadiums for it as well. They do, Jamie. They updated that, I noticed. Yeah, they updated that all right. I do like it. Just haven't had time the last week to go there. Mainly because of this stuff, which I enjoy a lot. Yeah, Philip obviously is going to be upset because he is a Dundalk fan. Gonna call him at the Belgium job. Is it a bit too easy, guys? Because I only have 2 saves: the Hartlepool and the Milan one, which I've barely touched really. The Milan one. But the Hartlepool one, as I said, I'm in League One. I've got promotion, and I'm top of League One. So I'm going for 3 promotions in a row and haven't even brought in that many new players. So it seems a bit easy to me. There's me behind again. And obviously it's 2-1. Fuck me. Hate this behind bullshit. I'm going to guess that Gibson scored. Great skill. Oh, lovely finish. Never did that pass, Jamie. Never did that at Pats.
Jordan Gibson, the 23-year-old on loan from Stevenage, and Murphy is
2 things he's done in this game, Gibson, brilliantly. Created the first goal, beat 2 men, and a great cross. And here, nice shimmy, left foot drive, top corner. He was so wasteful of Pats. He really was wasteful of Pats. He looks like we could do with him now, Jamie. That's the funny thing. But he's not a striker, Philip. He's a winger. He worked hard at Pats, was fine. The product was very poor. Jamie Mack. I have to send someone a message about this.
What a finish. Waterford with work to do now. Having led to Cavanagh's header in the 6th minute.
Is that nice?
It's all right, yeah.
He mentioned if Vergeer looked to play Johnny Kenny in, but I think he should have played Gibson to begin with. Eventually made his way to the winger.
Okay, Keegan out, time to go. Well, somebody out maybe. Killian, how are you? You well? Galway dominating, just can't score, can they? I think Rhino's messing, is he? It's a good game, guys, this, isn't it? It's a very good game, in fairness. At least you can use that. I'm enjoying it. And Sligo have really come into it now, in fairness, and they've turned it around very well here. Their character was called in the question a little bit, so they're answering that a little bit. No, what's that? You think Galway have a chance to win the league? Yeah, of course they have a chance to win the league because they've got players good enough to win the league. But there's something not right, and I felt it last season as well. To be honest, I got a bit of criticism for saying it actually, but I don't know. I'm not sure. The management just doesn't seem right to me. Like they're good enough. They've got the players to win the league. That's the point. Is it Rovers playing them next week? Actually, Craig. Phillips exaggerating. But they could turn around and beat Rovers 3-0. That's, this is they have the players. When you have the players, that can happen. But I just wonder with the management, can they be consistent from week to week? A BB. I think he looks a bit like Donnarumma, no? A BB. Oh, Kenny Cunningham, Cardinal saying he called him Waterford United. I did that before in one of my videos, guys, by accident. They called him Waterford United, and the abuse I got for it. Fucking hell. Slip of the tongue.
2-1 at the showgrounds, while the third fixture here, the RC, so the Blues win 1-0, so receive it. Season in the short season.
Yeah, it'd be good to see what Waterford can do, if you get me. It's like Sligo responded very well to going 1 down. Now, how well can Waterford respond to going 1 down?
Trying to get back into this game, having led as early as the 6th minute. Let's go towards Prince.
Yeah, I don't know, Philip. It just seems it's always difficult to say what's going on at a club, but from the outside looking in, it just doesn't feel right at Dundalk for me. No, they're bringing in a lot of good players. They are. These players they're bringing in, foreign players, are good players. But can they gel? Can they fit into a system? Can they settle in Ireland, particularly during COVID, where they can't go anywhere? And they're so foreign. You have players from all over the world. Like it's not like 3 or 4 coming in from this country or whatever. It's difficult. Coffee nice from Deeds.
Very young team. Must have been some of the older members of the Waterford side of 25. We've got Evans, 20.
Yeah, Sligo well on top now at the moment, I have to say, to be honest. I don't know what they need to do here, Waterford. Give 5-10 minutes maybe. They need to try something. So while I get him on, a bit of bite. But what do they have in attack? It's difficult for them.
Situations like this, John, is where that inexperience by the tell that have to be more than look feeling good about themselves.
I think they'll be very hard to beat this season, actually. I did call it early on. I think I tipped them for 8. But I said 8 would be the worst position they finish in. I'm not shocked. I think Adam Foley is a striker that I thought would do well this season. He's done well so far. They're a good side. They've kept most of the players from last season. They're a good side. It's a strong league. I keep saying that. Can they challenge for Europe is a question. Maybe. It could be one of those seasons where 5 or 6 teams are going to shout at Europe. Who knows? Like, are Shelburne sitting back home?
Well pleased with what he's seen so far. See the side go down to nearly having a header.
No, they won't have a notion in the League of Ireland. That's fair. Yeah. But they've been successful for years. That's the point. Very successful. Yeah, Neil. I mean, there's a lot of Waterford fans not very impressed with that, and rightfully so. They did very well in the market last season, brought in a lot of very good players I was impressed with, and ultimately lost them all. That's very disappointing.
That particular occasion. Canada's point of view, but he went back to an offside position.
Yeah, that's a true statement. That's a true statement, to be fair. But they have been successful, very successful since 2014, 13, 14, to be fair. So I think it's a big risk bringing in so many foreign players from so many different styles of countries and all over the world, literally. It's a risk. Kevin O'Connor and Michael O'Connor on.
The general direction, not more than the pass. The first half from the formation.
They almost lost Murphy as well, Neil. Neil made a comment earlier on. Very close to going to St. Patrick's Athletic, extremely close. And they managed to hold on to him.
Right foot to left and then finish off the post. Jordan Gibson has given Sligo 2-1 lead. They're well set now at this stage, playing with confidence. Here's McGinty. Ahead of Smith, added to by Brennan. Moran. Don't forget that Micro qualifier, Republic of Ireland against Luxembourg tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Start on RTE2 television, also on the player. If you can't see it, or you can hear it live. RTE Radio 1 extended RTE Radio 1 Saturday Sports. That's 2 o'clock. It's 2 till 10. And also the Pro 14 final. Spencer take on Munster. It's Brennan. It's a back flick.
Sorry there, folks.
Call
have scored. Let's see now. I tipped them to win the game, actually, so who knows. But yeah, it's 1-1. Cork 1, Cove 1, yeah. Wexford have also scored, by the way. I don't know if anyone mentioned that, but Wexford have scored. Turner, that man Turner, has scored for them. So, yeah, I think so, Neil. There's an element, isn't there, of Cork City last season with Waterford? But it's a long season. Who knows? Great to see any side get in. Yeah, absolutely.
Take this corner then. Safely out from Sligo's point of view for a goal kick.
Never say never, Craig, but highly unlikely. Highly unlikely, particularly when you're losing McInnes and Burns. I think if that was to happen, you need to keep your McInnes and Burns. It's a lovely finish.
Absolutely phenomenal. Holds nothing back, John. He spoke about the free kick he took. It was a control.
You need to keep your McInnes and Burns and add McInnes and Burn type players to that.
Full throttle, that was everything he could generate in terms of power was behind that ball. And to get the accuracy as well with it. Just don't get a strike as good as that. You can't get a strike.
I think Vinnie Perth had to go, Philip, because there was a dressing room unrest and 7 or 8 of the players for sure fell out with him, and when that happens, that's it. He was unlucky, but that could well happen again under Filippo, who's a weaker manager. You know what I mean?
Sligo Rovers. The hour mark now.
You'd have to go with Sean McRovers, Philip, wouldn't you? Let's be honest. Kenny, yeah, I don't know. Like, do I think Kenny can turn it round? I don't think he hasn't done anything wrong, in my opinion. Because you know, I take like it's all about a change of culture in Irish football. Now, do we want to stop doing what we're doing and go back to the crappy defensive football and still not qualify for the Euros or World Cup anyway? Like, he's doing the right things. He's unlucky with the results, but we haven't got great players anyway, no matter what system we play. And he's been very unlucky with the injuries. I like the way we're trying to play, though. I enjoyed the game the other night. Like, so, I don't know. I'm reasonably happy. Like, it's a change of culture that can take 5 or 6 years. Kenny will prove to be a very important transitional manager, I believe, in the future. Yeah, Jamie, it's mad, isn't it? Like, honestly, like, a Pats fan texted me there a second ago and they said, how come he wasn't like this with Pats? Very energetic, but didn't show any of that kind of quality. He didn't, let's be honest about it. He's right-footed, Jamie. He's right-footed. That's his main foot. Sorry, here, hang on. Have you heard? I haven't heard that one, actually. I haven't heard of that one, but they're linked with an awful lot of these players, aren't they? Sligo, I have to say, are much the better side in the second half. First half, Waterford seem to have run out of steam, haven't they? Or maybe, as someone mentioned there, actually, this is where the lack of experience comes into play now, actually, from Waterford's point of view. You need someone. Maybe that's why Darren Murphy's on the pitch as well, by the way. Not necessarily just to score, but for that reason. They're lacking that a little bit now, and they look a little lost at the moment, in my opinion. Sorry, guys, I left there for a minute. I don't know what happened, but it seemed to. That's twice I got knocked off, but in fairness, it only knocks off for a second. I'm not really sure why it actually knocks off. Anyhow, it's Gibson again. I think Gibson might be in my team of the week this week. Imagine I left him out this week. Bulger's been running the game in the second half as well, I have to say. They just look confident at the moment, Sligo, don't they? Very confident. And Waterford, 6s and 7s is a bit harsh, but they you know. Sligo will win the league based on the first 2 games. Finn Harps will win the league based on the first 2 games, Philip. You know what I mean? I mean, last year, people were saying Sligo are going to get relegated. You know, I mean, Premier League in England, Leeds could be top after 10 games, you know. Sligo are a good side, don't get me wrong, but I'd be surprised if they win the league. It's a long, long season. Really is a long season, guys. Who do I think will win the World Cup? Ooh. And there's a question. France have a very deep squad. It really depends. It's luck. It's a knockout tournament as well. But my first thought was France. Don't see anyone from South America winning it, I have to say. I think it'd be from Europe. I can't see Brazil or Argentina winning the competition. You can't rule out Germany, I don't think. Spain, you couldn't rule them out. I don't know if they'll win it, but I think it'd be a team from Europe for sure. A full Sligo Rovers 11, isn't it?
Sligo Rovers. Captain last year. Greg Bolger is the captain on the pitch.
Philip, that's what Tottenham said as well a couple of years ago.
Experienced player, David Cawley. That's their first up. So, Malloy on. Also, Murphy on for Waterford.
Malloy on as well, a little bit more experience there too for Waterford. They're quite comfortable at the moment, Sligo. You can never be comfortable 2-1. It all takes one shot, but they've been impressive in the second half in particular, I think, overall. I'm trying to remember, Pete.
Kenny. Arteta's run going, and Kenny found it.
Here comes Parks again. He's been mainly on the left, but I like the way
Gibson, we know how dangerous he is with Mike.
gives him close there again. I like the way he drifts in and that kind of thing.
He set high standards, John. Pull the trigger there in his right foot again, bring the stand and hold their breath, wondering where this ball was going to end up, but just by track that one across the 6-yard box with a throw slide out from Sligo.
That's good open contest. First touch for Cawley. Good stuff from McCourt. McCourt had a fair old battle with Wade in the first half. Wade's been
I think it is actually, yeah.
to the other.
I think it is, Craig.
Morgan. Forced out of play. Or a throw for Sligo Rovers. And they're getting a lot of joy, aren't they, down this right hand side?
It's Colin Horgan anyway. I think he is, yeah. He's played with Cork.
Are working well.
You want though, John, it's an exhibition of that pass from Gary Buckley in his centre half position as well. His pass back from front has been absolutely.
It's more likely that Sligo get a third, isn't it, rather than Waterford get an equaliser.
Right. O'Reilly. So 20 minutes to go. And Waterford, something in the armory to get something out of this game. They lost last week. And
Yeah, UCD 2-1 up against Athlone. Cork 1, Cove 1. Galway nil, Shelburne nil. Allegedly Galway are dominating that game. And Wexford 1, Cabinteely 2. Interesting stuff there. No idea, Philip. Bizarre. It doesn't make sense. And that's why I was waiting to do the kid video. It's a bit frustrating, that actually. But this isn't. This design is decent. This is just for this game, actually. Cork have scored, have they? Cork have scored 2-1, yeah. I don't know who scored, if anyone. Keane has scored for UCD. So 2-1 Cork, 2-1 UCD, 2-1 Cabinteely, and 0-0 between Galway and Shelburne. I think Shelburne will definitely take a point there. Here's it. McGinty kind of dropped that, didn't he? He got a bit lucky there. Wasn't convincing at all, McGinty there. He dropped it. He was lucky a Waterford player wasn't in hand though. And DeFries is coming on for Sligo. He's a decent player, DeFries. He can play. I don't know what McGinty's not there. He can play anywhere across the front line, which is always a bonus, I think.
17-year-old Johnny Kenny has gone off. He is also the header of the first half, and Ryan Willis is on. Kenny
a bit quiet today. Didn't do anything wrong, mind you. I was hoping he'd get a goal, to be honest. But, yeah, he's done well, I have to say now.
Only 13 months ago. Now, I've made that trip. I did a couple of times during the Cricket World Cup in 2015.
The Freeze family, I believe, is in still in New Zealand, isn't that right? I think. Must be hard that. Ooh! A 2-1, you never know, guys. A 2-1, you just don't know. I think Sligo have been in complete control. That was a dodgy header. Complete control in the second half and fully deserve the 3 points as it stands. But you just never know, 2-1. You just never know.
Poor decision making really there from Buckley, wasn't it? We were lauding about how well he's been playing in this particular game.
Bit of overconfidence, John, I suggest. It's such a good game, you know what I mean? Sometimes you kind of think you can't make a mistake. Just took an unnecessary risk there for me.
It was Maskell for Waterford.
Let's go.
I think they've worked harder. So I think not It's not like they didn't work hard against Drogheda, but they've been more decisive in their attitude in this game than they were against Drogheda. But they just looking at them, there's a lack of experience and know-how and maybe game management in the team. Here they come though. Meanwhile, good cross in there. In fairness, at 2-1, you just never know. Sligo will be disappointed if they drop points there, I think. What's going on here? Sorry. Predictions for Drogheda Harps next week. 5-1 Harps. I don't know. Callum, are you Drugs or Harps fan? I think I'm going to be able to get to that game actually in United Park. So looking forward to that game actually. But we'll see how Drogheda do tomorrow first, I think. The way Harps are playing, it'll be a different game for Drogheda, of course. But from week to week, performances can change. Looking forward to that actually. But we'll see how Drugs get on tomorrow as well against Pats before we have a proper judgment maybe on that one, I think. Good pressure here from Waterford, to be fair, in the last number of minutes.
Good response to John. Waterford really got out of the game 5-10 minutes ago.
I'll take one chance. You're still in the game. Arsenal, I think it'll be side one goal. Yeah, I think it'll be tight. It's in United Park as well, so it's definitely going to be tight. It's very difficult to predict the games, it really is, because any team's capable in this league, particularly early doors when teams aren't set yet. It's nothing surprises me earlier on in the season, and I did say at the start of the season I felt that this was the strongest league in a few seasons in terms of there isn't any whipping boys in the league. And Maskell over free kick, Maskell has had too many opportunities from set pieces this week. No change to scoreline in the first division scorelines. That was a good set piece from him there as well. So a little bit of pressure from Waterford here. They'll be happy with that response. Cork 2-1 up. Their goal came from Bargery, by the way. Yeah, that can be a factor sometimes, Jake, to be fair. Mind you, Finn Harps hadn't beaten Dundalk in 10 before today as well. So you just don't know. Dundalk Rovers, that's going to be a massive game now, isn't it, for Dundalk, I think. Massive game for Dundalk. But Dundalk are capable of coming in and turning in a performance and winning the game. That'll be Rovers' next game, won't it? Because I don't think they played Derry after that, don't they? They obviously drew the first match, Rovers, so it's going to be an interesting one, that. I have to really think about that, if I'm honest with you. Prediction Sligo Longford. They have to win here first, so Sligo, don't they? And I have to see how Longford get on tomorrow. It's too early for me to give predictions. At this minute in time, I'd have to say Sligo will win the match, I think. But at this minute in time, I'd probably go for Dundalk and Rovers to be a draw. That could change next week after the weekend's results and what I look at and players available and that. But and I'd probably go Drogs Hearts a draw at this minute in time as well. But
It's been a very entertaining game so far, and some terrific goals in it too.
No, absolutely. It's still a game on. John, like I said, Waterford have found renewed belief. Just take up the last 15 minutes beautifully this game.
Coley, it's by Brennan.
I think Sligo will be happy with the fact that Parks has come back. And you're never sure. Yeah, he was a good player a couple of years ago when he played at the club, but you're never sure how he's going to be the second time round. And I think he's got 2 goals since he's come back, so they'll be delighted with that. And 2 good goals, actually, I might add. Who's Phil McGrine?
Waterford have responded well to the goal. They deserve something out of this game. Anything in this game, you've got to work for it. Third season, charge for.
Still Cork 2, Cove 1, UCD 2, Athlone 1, Wexford 1, Cabinteely 2, Galway 0, Shelburne 0.
Murphy.
Yeah, he did actually, in fairness. I know. Well, I didn't really because not really, to be honest. I knew. Murphy did well since came on leading the line. Yeah, he's doing okay. In fairness. I give Waterford a bit of credit generally in the last 10 minutes because they've tried and they could have easily folded, to be honest with you, the way Sligo have been playing. So they're still in the game.
Many fans in. Hopefully we will have them in some numbers later on in the season. At the moment, behind closed doors. Well, entertaining fair if you're watching. Enjoying your say. Second of our live games. We'll have a cracker next week. All the work to do. I think
it is going to be interesting next week. The Dundalk,
visiting the champions. So
the Dundalk Rovers game, isn't it? Still 2-1 UCD though. It's not over yet, but
actually might have a title race this year because so far the results have been a little bit unpredictable.
Oh, absolutely. Not necessarily just the top two competing for that title. The Dundalk Shamrock Rovers, as everybody expects, John. The Sligo Rovers team and the St. Pat's in particular, Paul Heaton is ever mentioned. I think they've all strength in terms of their squads. They'll all be competitive, they'll be pushing that top two.
John Martin on for Waterford.
I suspect the majority of this season. It'll be great to watch.
John Martin, capable of getting the goal, in fairness.
The third John Martin's off. They're taking off their goal scorer.
Cavan drifted out of the game a little bit for Waterford, didn't he? But then again, as I said, Sligo were mostly on top, so it's very hard to not drift out of the game when the other team has the ball most of the time. I wonder if there's another goal in this game. Sligo have tailed off a little bit in terms of looking like scoring third.
Distribution's been terrific.
So it's going to be interesting to see if Waterford can manage to squeeze an equaliser here. They'll be pleased with aspects of the way they played Waterford as well, to be fair, considering young and inexperienced team. They're still in the game with 10 minutes to go.
To slow things down. Let's see how the last 10 odd minutes. Greece. There's Parks.
They're capable of hitting the team in a counter attack with the kind of players they have as well as Sligo. Particularly at this minute with Parks, DeFries and Gibson up there.
That's what they need the last 10 minutes of this game, John.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Maybe Dundalk are playing crap. Maybe. But they caught Rovers last season, Philip. It's the point in the cup final. Like, you know, Rovers were playing the better football in general up to that point. They're the one team that are capable of putting up a performance and beating Rovers, you see. And
record on that far side. We joined this record. It's on the side. Like he was found there.
Bulger still doing well in midfield.
Towards Cawley. To Power.
Bulger's another cracking signing, by the way, for Sligo, because a lot of people questioned with the injury would he be able to perform, but I thought he would. And the evidence of the first two games that he is performing, and he's going to be the player that people know he is, basically. In terms of individuals for Waterford, like none of them have done badly individually, really. But none of them have really stood out either.
Gibson, Cawley, De Vries, I think in a part, by Richard. Carol Murphy and he tries to get the ball back to Greg Bolger, and you might see City.
I remember that. That was a bit mental, alright, to be fair. That was a bit mental, alright.
Carol Murphy.
Um,
Paul, we got a good game so far, and just want to keep the cards in the pocket, perhaps.
Yeah, I didn't see much of that one, John, though. I'll be honest with you. Get a replay of it here. Yeah, just leave it here with left. Long Carroll just made contact. I think he's out of control there, really. Not too much of that. It is a free kick. Good decision for the referee.
Martin, the three substitutions used by Chidi in this second half. Darren Murphy, Rick Malloy, and now John Martin. Towards 5 minutes to go. Another time there will be a little bit of that. Those substitutions in the second half. The Brees
have a quick look at the first division, guys, see if there's any updates there. But all tight. Same scores 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 0-0. Been going into the last minute as well. And most of the games. Cork leading 2-1, UCD 2-1 up, Cabinteely 2-1 up, and Galway 0, Shelburne 0. Ultimately, that'd be a great result for Shelburne in the circumstances because 2 seconds. What was I saying there? Yeah, for Shelburne going down to 10 men, you'd take a point at Galway as well. First game of the season, I think. Cork will be happy to beat Cove at home if that finishes 2-1, I think. Thought that was a tricky assignment for them. Be a good win for Cabinteely and Wexford as well. Yeah, I have to say, Chris, for a good game, but I think the last 10 minutes, yeah. Sligo seem to be unsure in terms of what they want to do. Don't want to overcommit forward. And Waterford trying hard, but just don't seem to have enough to be able to build up play here. So you're kind of trying to manage it at this stage, really. And Horgan's played well at right back, considering I consider Lewis Banks to be the number 1 choice overall at right back. So it shows a good depth there as well. He can also play left back if required as well.
De Vries. The ball's in the right half of the field from Sligo's perspective.
Gibson, yeah, the funny thing is, Callum, Gibson was at St. Pat's last season and he showed a lot of good energy at St. Pat's, but his end product was woeful. Couldn't beat a man, really. Head down, wasting brilliant opportunities. But in the first 2 games for Sligo, he's been a different player. It's very strange. What new Dundalk signs impress you the most? None of them. No, like only a couple of games gone. None of them have particularly impressed, but none of them are particularly unimpressed, if you get me. It's a difficult one. Obviously, some of them didn't play tonight as well. I just said that, didn't I, Philip? Not really. It's too early, though, to say. Some of them didn't even play tonight. Obviously, Nadegaard and the guy you can't pronounce, Alafian right back and that. So, yeah, it's too early to say. Beebe at times looks okay in goal. He also looks like there's a mistake in him. Ushbosh, what's the crack, man? Yeah, it's a fantastic goal, but I don't know if you heard me earlier. I was saying he was at Pats and he just wasn't that player. Very strange, like very wasteful, like, you know what I mean? He's probably man of the match tonight, in my opinion.
Sligo's favour.
Jordan Gibson, the SSE Electricity League.
Yeah, he looks potentially good, Philip. Obviously, he got sent off, so we haven't seen much of him.
Live long in the memory.
Yeah, they could well do because Jack Byrne was the man, wasn't he? Sorry. Yeah, they could well do because Jack Byrne was the man. And even McInnes, to an extent, was a bit like that as well. He was more of a breaker into the box, but you're missing a breaker into the box, so to speak, with him gone. And Jack Byrne's so good at creating opportunities against low block teams. A lot will depend on Danny Mandrew, and if he can. No, Georgie Kelly ruined himself. No, a lot will depend on Danny Mandrew and what his attitude is like, because he's capable of that type of play. And yeah, they could well do, I think, this season. It's going to be harder for them, I think, definitely. Abibi made a mistake again. So he did, Oisin.
21 years of age.
Yeah, he looks like he could make a couple of worldies, doesn't he? But also make a mistake in the same breath. So, there's a lot of good goalkeepers in this league. He's a lot to do to be up there, I think. It looks like they're seeing the game out, Sligo here. The last 10 minutes has been a bit of a lull, which Sligo will be happy with. Oh, Athlone have scored in stoppage time. I'll guess. I don't know who scored, right, for them. I'll go for Stephen Meany with a second. Adam Wixford, the other former Drogheda player that scored. They'll be delighted with that point to get it. So Wixford has scored to make it 2-2 there. Yeah, it does look dodgy, I have to say. Former Drogheda was in the team last season as well for Drogheda, but he's a decent player, in fairness.
Two consecutive defeats. He's been easy in the League of Ireland. The 61-year-old.
They definitely played some good football tonight, Sligo. Did you ever go to Mayo? Of course I've been to Mayo, yeah. Oh, he used to be culture RLP.
35th minute equaliser. Romeo Parks. League goal of 53.
Going to Shells alone. Disappointed with that? In terms of the Shells red card? I think Shells will be the more happier with that, surely. I think it went for a draw in that game well, actually. But I tipped UCD to win, they're not going to win. I tipped Cove to win, they're not going to win. And I think I tipped a draw in Wexford and Cabinteely.
Just 3 points. Only John, particularly from an attacking point of view, haven't been at their best against Figueroa. Again, another quite even. It was game against Dundalk. Johnny Kenny on the front.
Yeah, it's difficult to say with Waterford because they're more the unknowns, aren't they? Yeah, Jamie, I don't know if yeah, we've talked about it. Obviously, I'm not sure if Pat's of the squad in a 36-game season to qualify for Europe, to be honest.
Just need to bet in for Garrett. He certainly has the ability. Johnny Kenny. And nearly scored as well in this game. Big header. Lovely header too. Have to go back to the ball as Alan Cole pointed out. Hit the ball of the post.
So it's looking like no points in 2 games for Waterford ultimately. But I do think they battled hard in this game. Yes, they're lacking a bit of quality, but like people comparing them to Cork City last season, I don't think Cork City battled very well last season though. I thought at times there were scandals in the way their effort and application. I think there's nothing wrong with Waterford's effort and application in this game, just lack quality at the end of the day.
That is the difference between the sides, I think. It's that real individual quality which Sligo possess now high up the pitch. Those players that we mentioned have thrown the game in their favour. I think they do deserve that. As a result, they're clinical when your chances present themselves. He deserved to win.
City 1-2-1. Good result for Cork, to be fair. That was a difficult game. Because Cove had a lot of their players from last season as well, so that cohesion can be key early on in the season. So it's a good result for Cork. I'll be happy with that start. Very happy, actually.
I'm almost done. Crawley heading for the corner flag, perhaps. Kill off some time.
Just checking the first division if that's it, guys, for sure. Are we finished? Just waiting on the Wexford results. Finished Galway 0, Shelburne 0, UCD 2, Athlone 2, Cork 2, Cork Cove 1. Obviously, it's finished 2-1 for Sligo here. Yeah, I think Sligo ultimately, guys, deserve to win this match. Gibson, I thought, was outstanding. I didn't put in a performance even close to that while he was at his time at Pats. Set up Parks for a fantastic finish, by the way. And scored a fine goal with his left foot as well. Waterford started brilliantly. They got the perfect start. But once Sligo got level, they kind of were the better team throughout and controlled the game for large parts. And just saw out the game, I thought, in the last 15 minutes or so. Waterford, you can't blame their effort or application. So fair play to them. But no points for them, 4 points for Sligo. Guys, thanks for watching. I'm off and take it handy. Looking forward to the games tomorrow as well. See you later, guys. Bye.